Hello. Just as I started recording, a lorry started reversing and making weird noises. So it's lunchtime, so I've come downstairs for a bit of lunch and a bit of a break and a bit of chance to get away from the computer, change of scenery. I've had quite a busy morning. I've got a load of marking done, which I'm really happy with. Still got lots to do over half term, but I'm sort of up to date, if that makes sense. The rest is coming in today, so I'm ready to mark that. So I will be working over half term, as every teacher will be, despite what you hear. But I am looking forward to having a bit of a break, and I'll make sure I get a break as well, because we've worked so hard this term. It's been such a busy period of time, creating brand new lessons, teaching remotely. It's not easy. And, every teacher that I know has worked so hard over this time period, and deserve a lot of respect, quite frankly. So, yeah. But yeah, so I've done some marking. I've had a meeting to discuss plans for next term. I've had a couple of online lessons. I've got a mentor meeting with one of my Year 13 students in about an hour. And the third episode of my podcast, Treading the Boards, the Amateur Theatre podcast, was released this morning at 10 o'clock. So that's gone up live. That's good fun. Check it out. Video version on Facebook and YouTube, and then sound audio podcast version on all the big podcast streaming services. So yeah, it's been a good day. I can't wait for this sort of after school though. I'm going to sort of stop for a while and have a bit of a celebration as it's the half term. But yeah, if you can't tell, I'm quite exhausted.
Hallo, guten Tag. Dylan hier. Ich bin hundenmüde. Es ist 1 Uhr des Nachmittags. Scheiße. Can't remember anymore aside from like descriptors and a song. Ja, ich heiße Dylan. Ich habe blaue Augen und braun, kurze Haare. Ich bin 31 Jahre alt und ich wohne als London. Like, comment, subscribe.
Good afternoon. I actually woke up at 9 today and got out of bed and then watched the first half of Drag Race UK and WandaVision, and then I needed to take a couple of minutes after watching WandaVision, had a shower, and then I've been really naughty and ordered a sushi box. Because it's Friday, innit? And it's day 39 of lockdown. Is it? I said that was with confidence, but I don't know if it is. But anyway, I think it's mad that we're nearly at 50. And I've been outside like 5 times. Ugh, oh dear. Also, Kizzy's been a little shit today. That cat is driving me up the wall. She was climbing the wall and going in cupboards. She keeps bringing me things, and I've had to tell her to go upstairs and leave me alone because I can't. It's It's driving me nuts. I'll go find her in a minute and give her a stick. Oh no, she's up there staring at me. She never goes far.
Okay, so there's an actual point of me filming. That was just to say that I'm feeling really good and I've been having a lot of laughs, despite the fact that it is Friday and I'm expecting it to be a complete shit show and really kick off in a bit. But I'm doing really well and I'm having a good time and I can't wait to be done with work, get cracking on more of my cosplay, and then enjoy the weekend. Oh, also, I had therapy today, and literally as therapy started, my food delivery arrived, so I was putting away my groceries while also talking about trauma, which is just like... choice. And also, I was told that I pass in terms of as male, but I definitely don't pass for straight, because everyone who met me at work after I'd been on T for a while assumed that I was just a gay man, which... ding ding ding, good job. I'm just in a really good place and I don't know why, and I'm not going to fight it and I'm not going to question it. I'm just going to be happy. And get another coffee, because I am tired of yawning and also my mouth feels sad and alone. Kuchisabishi. That is the mood of the week. What am I on?
Over singing, because I really do not want to put the other girls to shame.
Hello, so as you can probably tell by how late this probably is in the video, there is not going to be much from me today because I've had a very busy morning, but forgot to charge my phone last night, so I couldn't film any of it. So fun. So phone's charged now, so I can tell you what I've done, but I can't really show you. I've got a load of washing on, had some food, done all my washing up, so I've got a nice and mostly tidy flat. Still got to deal with the drag stuff. I was hoping to go shopping today to finally get some stuff to clean my wigs, but there's more of this annoying white stuff out and about that I don't know if you can see in the video. Can you see? Okay, I don't think you can see it, but it's starting to snow again. It's sort of been on and off all day. This is the heaviest it's been today, but still very faint, but as you can tell by the fact you couldn't see it. I did notice when I woke up this morning, it definitely gotten thicker, or like the floor had gotten deeper. And yeah, fun. Although I'm more tempted than I should be to go out there and make a nice little snowman on my thing. I did think about doing a photo shoot out there. Can you even see it? You can't even see it there, because that's all I can show you. Let's go this way. I haven't shown you this door yet. Give me 2 seconds. There we go. So I actually have a nice little porch thing. Oh, that's cold. Yeah, so in the summer, that's going to be a nice place to sit and sunbathe. Because if I put some netting up or something along the fence, that'll give me a bit of privacy instead of in the garden, which, as I think you've seen in previous vlogs, there is no privacy because all the gardens overlook each other and they have very low fences. But there I could put some fence up or netting up and I'd get lots of sun. So yeah, that's something to look forward to. But for now, yeah, kind of want to build a snowman, kind of don't want frostbite. So yeah, don't think I'll do it today. If it's still snowing like this tomorrow, I'll force myself to go out shopping anyway, because I just need to go shopping. And if it is, I might treat myself to something nice and warm, and then I might build a snowman. But that is very cold, and I don't do cold. So for now, I am going to go and deal with my makeup. I might film that, if I can figure out a way to set the camera up, and then... yeah. Actually, there isn't actually that much to do in terms of makeup. We'll see. I might show you something, I might not. You'll find out. You'll find out when I do, pretty much. But for now, I am going to go and deal with that. Plus, I think my washing's nearly done, so that'll be drying soon. Also, just noticed something really weird. Very off topic. Doing a Stevie. Just noticed all those roofs have suddenly stopped having snow on. First thing I noticed when I woke up this morning was that all the roofs had loads of snow on, which is what made me think there was snow. Like, it had been snowing again. And then, now it's gone. How bizarre. Okay, right, I'm actually going to go do stuff now. See ya.
So, the postman's driven past 3 times, and I'm hoping he's got a parcel for me. Because I have no self-control and buy things. Yeah, I also did just order something else. I pre-ordered a book, and I actually don't have a clue when it comes out. It's like a series I've been reading since I was 13, so almost 10 years. And Waterstones has the signed edition, and I think I've got... This is book 13, 14, and I've got the last 5 signed, and then I met the author and got another 3 signed because I'm a stalker. So that's happening. I also possibly have some work for next week, which is exciting. I'm waiting on a phone call to confirm it, but that's just doing some researching for a program. That's fun. Still only a possible. I need to sort stuff out, and I don't want to jinx it, but it's fun. I'm very excited for it. Where's that postman going? Why isn't he bringing me things?
Hello. It's half term. It's 7:30 on the Friday as half term starts, and I'm bored. I'm sat back at my computer with a drink, to be fair, just trying to find something to do. And I think it's the knowledge that I can't have a normal half term, and just working out what to do. It's tricky. I'm not someone who can just sort of sit there and watch telly for ages, maybe for a day. I'm sure I will do a lot of that, but I need to do something to feel like my days are worthwhile. So, never mind. I've just had a really nice text from a friend who I have reconnected with recently. Just to check how I am. And it's nice, we hadn't spoken for a while because of a falling out, but we reconnected recently. And they just text to see how I was doing. And that was really nice and really lovely. And, you know, a real positive thing. So that was nice. I don't know what to do. I may start editing some of my Year 10 film that I said I was going to do, because that will be quite fun, I think. But if anyone has any suggestions, please put them on a postcard. Send them in.
Okay, so I finally have clothes on, as you can tell. So, go me. That is purely because I just had to get a bins in, so that will be back in dressing gown next time you see me. But I've also finished off all my brushes, so they're nice and sparkly, ready for the next weekend. Also a bit of washing up that I thought this morning I need doing, so that's done as well. But yes, while I was doing all that, I was watching an episode of Drag Race UK from last night, the lockdown one, with all the queens just sort of vlogs, as this is, and just life in lockdown, just so much of it just sort of hit really close to home to me, being a drag queen in lockdown. And then, even though my situation is very different to all theirs, and obviously all of them are different to each other, it's just sort of made me reflect on things I just haven't really wanted to reflect on about the past year. Yeah, because basically last year was a very... I'm not sure if Anna's doing swearing here, but feel free to put Stevie sneeze over it if we're not allowed swearing. But last year was a very shit year for me, to say the least. I won't go into too much depth, but basically it was just bad thing after another, and in the middle of summer last year, I was left homeless for 3 months, which was very fun, and is ultimately the reason why I now live alone. But we'll not get into all that because I will end up crying, and we don't want to do that today. But the thing in particular that I was talking about that really resonated with me was just sort of how drag queens have sort of been screwed over. Which, to be fair, everyone everyone in the entertainment industry has been. It's not like it was just us person that was targeted. But I'm just sort of thinking back to this time last year, well, even January last year, like January, February this time last year, and just the amount of bookings that was suddenly just sort of coming out of nowhere. So like I had bookings for like several £100 each, for like one night's work, and it was sort of scattered throughout the year, which obviously all ultimately got cancelled or rescheduled. One of which was what was the very first one I got of last year was for January this year, and it's now been pushed back to January next year. So fun. Yeah, and it's just sort of something I'm sort of reflecting on at the minute, watching all that, is how like I was taking all those bookings for like weddings and birthdays and all of this for like really long, several hour nights, like hosting, like all this really fun stuff that I'm just desperate to do. And now I'm lucky to get a £50 hour Zoom gig where I just stand and talk about drag, which, great, I love it, it's still fun, but it's just not the same. There's no two ways about it, and I don't know what it is about watching this, because obviously I've seen all my friends and all been in touch and they've all been saying the exact same sort of thing as what I'm going through. But I don't know why we're just seeing like all these queens who are sort of like the top of UK drag at the minute going through it. It's just sort of put in perspective of it, of like how bad this is for everyone. Because like I said, obviously everyone's been struggling, there's no two ways, but I'm not going to pretend like it wasn't obvious, like no one's had it easy this past year. But just seeing like the top of the top really struggling like that sort of made me realise like it just really sucked. Because I like, especially watching like Veronica Green talk, I mean, spoiler alert, if you haven't caught up with Drag Race, spoilers, skip, yeah. But yeah, especially like Veronica Green talking about like the massive depressive episodes she went through for like weeks and not be able to come out of it. And it's one thing I have, like I so jokingly said at the start of lockdown, but I'm I say very sincerely now, is like how lucky I actually feel looking back. I mean, no in hell would have been cast on it, but like if I was cast on season 2, I don't see life having went well for me the past year. In large parts off of Veronica Green's story of like, I know like if I was in that situation, I'd made it up to that episode and then I'd been sent home with everyone else for COVID. Regardless of if I'd done really well, I'd won loads of challenges, or if I'd been the bottom 2 every episode, or like even just safe every week, the anxiety would have just killed me. Because one thing I do always say is like my biggest fear if I ever got on that show is the period between filming and it airing. Because I spent the entire time terrified of, oh god, what's this going to come out as, what's this, blah blah blah, like will people like me, will I be the villain, all this stuff. And that's just one thing that just like honestly terrifies me about getting on, like possibility of at some point in life getting on Drag Race, which is why I say I'm just not ready now. So the thought of having to sit for 7 months in her situation, like she'd done really well, she'd done some great looks, no one expected her to do as well as she had, so she's come out over top, and you can see in that last episode she did was really getting to her, so I can just understand how much she would have wanted to go back and fight, but then she just couldn't. And then once again, spoiler alert, then finding out that she can't even go back to finish the rest of the season is just, I can't even begin to imagine, like if that was me, like it's just such a really shit situation. Yeah, so in a nutshell, I'm not really sure how to feel all of that. On one hand, it's made me feel worse, like it's made me realise to another level how bad, like it's one thing to know it's bad, it's another thing to like realise it's bad, if that makes sense. And I feel like that's what's made me realise how bad it's actually been. Because I feel like for a lot of this I've sort of been intentionally a bit oblivious, like trying to avoid sob stories and stuff just because I know how hard it would have been to listen to. It's been bad enough to live through, let alone listen to other people's, but like sitting and seeing that in people in similar but not quite the same situations, just, yeah. And then especially Veronica Green, because going into the season she was my favourite. She's the only one I've met beforehand, I know what she's capable of, and everything she was going through that entire season just resonates so much with me, because I know if I was to go, if by some miracle I got in season 3, I know I would go into it, no one would know who I was, I would probably recognise a lot of the queens from social media and stuff, no one would expect anything of me, and then bam, I pull out the sewing, the lip sync, like, and then I'll just pull it out, and then just hearing her, it's just really gotten to me. Once again, I don't know if I feel lucky or what, but it's just gotten to me one way or another. And yeah, I just really fucking hope she comes back for season 3 because she fucking deserves it. I've followed her for years. I mean, honestly, like, she was one of the first queens I ever saw live. So, like, just knowing how, like, honestly, the progression I've seen from her on Instagram the past few years, like, spoiler alert for season 3, but the bitch can do gymnastics, like, Evie Oddly type shit, like backflips and all that stuff, like, and I even remember saying to her, like, before it aired, like, bitch, like, I fucking can't wait to see you do this, because I know what you're capable of. It's just really gotten to me, because obviously very different circumstances, but I feel probably similar to how she feels of career was just started to peak, was looking great, loads of great opportunities, and then poof, gone. And there's nothing I can do about it except sit and power through. But hopefully near the end, even if drag doesn't pick up for a while, potentially got the job in China coming up, so hopefully new opportunities at the very least of some way by the end of this year. But as everyone seems to feel at the minute, it's just the uncertainty is not fun at the very least. I feel like I've done a pretty good job, especially the past week, of not, like, I know I can pay rent this month. Beyond that, I've got no clue. So I can pay rent as of the 21st of January, that is, of 21st of February, that's fine. Bills on the 1st of March, we'll find out. Hopefully Universal Credit will sort something out by then, but it's a very slow process, so fingers crossed, I guess. And yeah, in the meantime, I'm going to go back to trying to stay a bit oblivious to everything, which means I might not get around to watching the rest of these vlogs today, just because, once again, I love you guys, but like, I feel like if people are posting like shit stories, which once again, totally understandable, as I'm literally doing now, so it's a bit hypocritical of me, I just don't see mental health going in a good way today. So I think I might chance one and see how it goes. But I think the rest of today is just going to be Netflix and gaming, just as distraction, until I feel a bit more cheerful tomorrow, and then we can watch US Drag Race and hopefully binge watch everyone's den. At the very least, I know Anna mentioned that Dylan said about their experience of living in China, and that's it. I don't know if it's good or bad. So I might at the very least just watch yesterday's, just to see, like Dylan's bits, just to see about that. But yeah, today we need to try and not think about lockdown because mental health says no. But until then, this has been a nearly 10-minute video. I felt myself tearing up there, so I'm going to stop this and go and find something to cheer me up. And I will see you later.
So I said a few days ago that I started watching Parks and Recreation on Netflix for like the 1,000th time that I've watched it. It's one of my favourite shows. And it was recently put on Netflix, so I'm watching it all again. I'm already on the final season. You need to watch it, and because it's hilarious, and it stars guest stars in it near the end later series is Catherine Hahn, who is Agnes in WandaVision, and she's hilarious, and this is proof.
I think you're underestimating the voters. I don't think that is possible. Stephen, be careful.
Hello, so me again. Yeah, so the past couple hours have been fun. That's the word we'll go with. Yeah, so after that fun 10-minute video, pretty much had a nice fun little anxiety/panic attack, which is always a fun way to spend your time. Sort of touching a little bit on what Ben was saying in one of the vlogs, your guess is as good as mine, just one of the ones I was binge watching yesterday. When he was talking about never necessarily had a set panic attack or anything like that, but definitely feeling the symptoms of it. That's kind of what I was like with it. I've definitely had a lot worse states of it, but compared to what people who've actually been to diagnosis and such, or like been to therapists and stuff talk about, have said, I'm not sure if it was a panic/anxiety attack type of thing, but it was definitely in that ballpark. Either way, not a fun experience, whatever it was. Yeah, so I had to distract myself, so I decided to go shopping to get some comfort food, just run to the corner shop, in and out. Also managed to get some stuff to clean my wig, so that was a nice silver lining to this. Yeah, got in and out, but as I was in, and I was sort of in a mentality of, right, you know, I'm starting to calm down a little bit, gonna get some, like, cookies and stuff to cheer me up, which has been great. And then as I was taking my mind off the whole Veronica Green situation and everything I mentioned that 10-minute rant, then I heard someone on the radio mention about how a couple from Strictly have had to drop out because they've tested positive, which obviously put me back in that mentality. And then insult or salt to the wound, I guess. It really shouldn't have been, but it was. Immediately afterwards, there was an advert about mental health. So I was like, great. So in an effort to escape mental health issues and something that's just really struck a nerve with me for some reason, 2 adverts in a row about the topics I'm trying to avoid. So I was like, great, fantastic. So I got some cornettos and went home. Yeah, so I've had some comfort food that's cheered me up a little bit. Also got what I've low-key dubbed my anxiety headphones, because this is something one of my friends suggested. This is fully them, not me saying this at all, because once again, no professional diagnosis. But one of my friends at uni is basically convinced that I'm some form of autism or something along those lines. One of the reasons being that I've noticed when my ears are covered, I feel significantly calmer than when I'm not, especially when I'm stressed or anything. Which is something I've sort of tied in with the fact that when I had long hair, I had a lot less mental health issues, and then as soon as it went, mental health issues rose up. Probably coincidental, but I know as a kid I always felt calmer when my ears were covered, which is why I had long hair. That was a tangent, but yeah, so I've had them on for the past couple of hours, and whether it's a direct correlation or not, I feel calmer, so, well, yeah, it works. But once again, that's tangent. That's all a friend saying it's a sign of autism and stuff. I'm not nearly well versed enough in that, and I do not have any form of diagnosis, nor have I spoken to a doctor about it. So this is not me claiming to be autistic in any sense of the way, just saying a friend is convinced I have it. But take that up with them, not me. That was a massive Stevie there I just pulled. But yeah, so just sort of in the effort of trying to distract myself, I have stumbled upon one fact which has quite intrigued me, because I'm not someone who's necessarily ever followed like zodiacs and astrology and all that in depth. I've always thought concepts of it's really interesting, especially how in depth and like the history and all of it goes. Like one of the articles I was reading says it goes back to Babylonian times and all that fun stuff. Yeah, so just sort of been doing a little bit of research just because I noticed something, that 2021 is the year of the bull, ox, I always get two mixed up. Year of the ox, that's one. Yes, and one thing that I've always found quite funny about the Chinese zodiac versus the other zodiac, I'm not really sure what the official terminology is of the non-Chinese one, but the one about the stars, that one, I am a Taurus. So I was born the year of the bull, or the year of the ox, in the month of the year of the bull. I was born in the year of the ox, in the month of the bull. There we go, got that. I probably got ox and bull the wrong way around, but sue me. So that's one thing I've just always thought was really coincidental, because, like, yeah, from what I know, I don't actually know anyone else who is both a Taurus and an ox. Or, like, you know what I mean. Two of them in the same one, so that's just something I've always thought is quite funny. Then another thing I've always found, this is sort of the only reason why I do sort of buy into any of this, which is going into insecurities and all that, is that I'm one of those people who always seems to come, like, second best. Like, I'll always do great, but I won't necessarily be the best. Like, it's very rare for that to happen. And in both zodiac charts, I am second. So, I'm not, once again, not fully sure how much of the zodiac and all that stuff I necessarily believe, but it's one thing I've always felt coincidental, the fact that I've always felt like second in any competition I do, or like a runner-up, and then in both zodiac charts of the ones I'm aware of, I'm sure there are plenty of others out there, I am second in both of them. So make what you want of that, especially the fact that the Chinese one, this is a story I've always really liked since I was a kid. is the fact that the Chinese zodiac is the animals and like that race to heaven and all that stuff. I think it was heaven. It was the Jade Emperor and all that stuff. But yeah, some race across the river, which for some reason always reminded me of the Gingerbread Man. Don't know why, but just always reminded me of that crossing the river stuff. But yeah, and then that one, the Taurus was second. So on top of that, he was second because he was nice. He could have won, but nope, he decided to give the rat a ride, and then the rat jumped in front and got the lead. So yeah, make what you want of that. But yes, that's just a little thing that I've just sort of been using to distract myself today. Because I think that's one thing that I think we all need to sort of remind ourselves is just sort of find little things to distract ourselves from the impending doom of the world. Obviously, I'm still very behind in the vlog, so I've got no idea what everyone else's mental health state. For all I know, like, everyone's dead, and Anna's just sort of been putting memorial things in the thumbnails. But yeah, so I'm hopefully going to start binge watching. It's 9:30 now, so this is probably going to be my last one of today. So I'm going to say bye just in case, but if something comes up in one of the other vlogs, I'm probably going to film a little bit to comment on that. But it's 9:30, so I should, in theory, get at least 3 done before submitting everything to Anna. I'll submit what I've got to her, and then any other little bits I'll throw in at the end and message Anna saying a bit later with this one. But for now, I think that will be done for today. Yeah. And tomorrow, I'm going to finally catch... Also, that's one thing, I'm not sure if you guys have noticed, but I've been very aware of, is I definitely have a small speech impediment. Your guess is as good as mine, which part of it is causing what, or whether it's just accents. You guys should see that light flicker. Spooky ghost. But yeah, anyway, that's one thing that I am trying to fix this year, is my speech impediment. So I'm not sure how much of it is accent or what, but one thing I'm very aware of is that I struggle a lot with THs, which is something you're not going to be able to unhear now, so good luck with that. So especially when I do these vlogs, I try to put the effort in to sort of think ahead of what I'm saying. I mean, I miss it there, but I try and think ahead to what I'm saying and make sure I say the THs correctly, so it's a th instead of th. So yeah. Fun drinking game for future vlogs. Every time I mess up, you will definitely be smashed by the end of the next one. But yeah, so at the end of all those Stevie-induced tangents, also Kirsty rather, I know all these annoy you, but I'm still going to keep referring them to Stevies. Even years to come, I'm still going to call it a Stevie whenever someone goes in a tangent, and whoever I'm speaking to is not going to know why. So that is now your legacy. I've got that TH right. So enjoy that. But yeah, so in the meantime, I am going to finish watching the vlogs, or at least watch a few more vlogs. Get an early-ish night, because I've been going to bed at like 2 AM and that needs to stop. And then see you in the morning with a potentially quick review of Drag Race, because isn't that game next week? No, it's the improv challenge tomorrow. Yeah, improv challenge. And Snatch Game's the UK one. That's it. I remember. But yes, so as this is another 10-minute video, I'm going to quickly finish now, and we'll see you when I see you, I guess. Good night. Unless I film some more, but probably not, so good night.